Wow. Entry 200. This is, kind of amazing for me thinking about how I kind of started this just on a whim. I just really wanted to do something where I talk about things that I really love and like movies that I'm really passionate about. And I'm just really passionate about the filmmaking, storytelling, all of these things factor into why I decide to put a focus on something like this. I wanted to do Diary of a Cinephile, which was born years ago originally as a YouTube channel idea, and now here I am. This has been going on for a little over a year, and I'm 200 entries in and doing it as frequently as I can and enjoying every single one of them I do, and just leading into the new year and realizing all the stuff I really do when I try to maintain. I have this podcast, Diary of a Cinephile, which is, kept up to date as much as I can. I have another podcast, Pages, which I haven't really added much to since I started it. It's got 12 stories up there, 12 of my original short stories that I've written and posted up there. They do take a lot of work, not even just, writing them and making sure I'm comfortable with them, but also just, the editing process of those pieces of work are just things that I'm very passionate about. So I like to make sure that they're up to par with how I want them. And being that I haven't really done one in a while, New Year's coming along, and hopefully I can do some more with Pages, just like I want to do more with Diary of a Cinephile and, all of my other things. I just started this TikTok channel where I put an emphasis on things in movies and television I like. I share clips from my gaming channel, which I also started a gaming channel that I love, and I love doing that, and that's just something that I really am strongly passionate about. I've been a gamer for many years, and I consider myself a pretty good gamer, and that's why I decided, finally I should sit down and maybe start getting some things going where I'm able to kind of push out content for that as well. And along with that, I have my book. I finally got to publish my book this year for the first time. I tried publishing it 8 years ago. It had a rocky kind of first year, and I kind of wanted to pull back and do more with it. I winded up sitting on it for a long time and going through a lot of edits, and eventually I was just like, you know what, I sit here and I change so many things. I just got to get it out there, and I got to get people reading it and seeing if people love it or hate it. And either way, I just want to get them out there so I have that. I want to be this storyteller. I want to be this creator of things that can entertain and things that can bring sort of momentary joy in some way, shape, or form, whether it's listening to an entry about a movie you may like or not like, or just getting some feedback about it, listening to some really cool stories, reading a really cool story, or just watching some guy play video games. It's just things that I just want to do to kind of, I guess maybe it sort of relates to my son. I have a son now. He's 4 months old, and I kind of want to leave, I guess, some sort of legacy, something that I could show him that regardless of how many people listen to my podcast or how many people watch my TikTok or how many people even subscribe to my YouTube channel, which as of right now it has 13 videos and only 2 subscribers. But even with all of that, it's just I want to show him that I just was doing something and I was trying to do something. And I spent years talking about doing something, and I finally had decided a couple of years ago to start doing something. And even before that, I had started to do it with my writing, and I just wanted to take that to the next level as well, because I had tried so many other outlets. I had written short stories for different websites. I had written little reviews and comparison articles for independent websites. I don't know many people remember it, but there was a website called Movie Pilot, which then became Creators. I had written, I don't know, 36 articles for them over a year before they wind up shutting down because it just wasn't worthwhile for them. It was free. I didn't pay anything. All I got paid for is viewership on the things I would write. I started another YouTube channel a couple of years ago that became really difficult for me to maintain as well, because everything I do myself. So all of my editing, all of my writing, anything that is pushed out content-wise from me is all me. I pay to get certain things done for me. I get editing done on pieces of work I need done. Most images I have out there, if they're not done by me, they're done by my wife, or I pay to get those done. I had commissioned somebody for the cover of my book. I've also commissioned somebody for the cover of my next book already. It's not even finished, but I just wanted it there so I can view it as a kind of inspiration to get it done, because I want to get my second book out there before, this other book gets to be 6 months old. I'm already 3 months behind, but I am a third of the way done with this book, so hopefully that gets out soon. And, I do it all myself. I do pretty much 95% of everything myself. And I like that because I want to be the creator. I want to be the person who pushes these things out all on my own. And I want that to be all on my own until I can get to a point where maybe I do need help. And I'm nowhere near that point now, and I have no problem putting in the work. And I've tried for years to really get myself to put in the work, and I just wasn't successful. And I think I really owe it to the birth of my son that it's kind of been this eye-opener that I want him to look back and I want him to see that his father, didn't give up. I want him to see that there were things I wanted to do. There were things I wanted to accomplish, even if they weren't to the extent that I could quit my job to be a gamer full-time, or quit my day job and go on the road and do book signings and become a best-selling author. I at least did it. I at least had the courage to finally stop myself in my tracks and stop second-guessing myself. And I have learned that through successes and things like the minor success my TikTok channel has been getting, the minor success my book is kind of experiencing right now. And again, success is very minimal to me because the few things I've gotten mean more to me than anything that most people could probably imagine. To most people, a successful YouTube channel is getting 1,000 subscribers in a month. Truthfully, within a month of my book being released, I had 15 orders and at least 4 5-star reviews. And that to me is a huge success. That to me just means more to me than any sort of monetary number that those books give to me. And again, you got to remember that this is also all going without getting paid for pretty much anything. My podcasts are free and I do at least this one regularly. And then the YouTube channel, I'm nowhere near getting any sort of monetization from that. TikTok doesn't pay you anything. And the royalties on my book are only 60% for a digital copy and then 40% for a hard copy. It costs me $6 and some change to get a printed book, and then I make $3 or $4 off of that. So that's the kind of world that you live in when you want to have this dream and you want to fulfill it and you want to become something else besides just saying, I wrote a book, but where is it? It's sitting on my computer. I actually wanted to put it out there. I wanted to put these feelings I had out there, and I'm very passionate about, the few things in my life I wanted to create something for. I'm passionate about technology. I'm passionate about movies and films. I'm passionate about storytelling. I read to my son every night, and it's just that drive that makes me read to him, that makes me want to create things for other people. And I want to go into the new year with that mindset of continuing to create and continuing to be, to have something substantial for myself and something to show, my son that if you push hard enough and you try hard enough and you make sure that success to you isn't what everybody else views as being successful, you will find joy and happiness in those things. And I find joy in everything I do, and I don't make any money off of it because that's not what matters. What matters is I do this because I love doing it. I love doing the Diary of a Cinephile. I love writing my book. I loved every second of writing my first book, and I love every second of writing. And I just have so many ideas that I bounce around between all of these ideas. And coming in the new year, I have even more things I want to try to do. What I'm focused on is the possibility of this history of being able to record and everything, actually pushing out my book in an audiobook fashion where I do the recording and the narration all of myself. And I think, to me, that would be a tremendous feat, because the book is, some people have told me they can read it in anywhere from 3 to 5 hours, but that's them reading it as well. So I'm thinking that it's probably going to be at least something around the 5 hour mark to record that entire novel to the extent that it's worthwhile for the audiobook format. And I plan on doing it all myself. And I think that's going to be a long lasting battle that I'm going to be fighting. And I'm looking forward to it. And I'm just looking forward to the rest of my journey for however long I'm going to ride this. I'm going to ride it until I can't ride it any longer. I play video games anyway, so I'm just going to record them. I watch movies. I watch new television shows constantly. I have 200 entries up to this point. I'm going to have more. And I'm going to try to focus on things that I want to watch. I'm going to try to focus on really trying to continue to build what I want my brand to be and what I want to wrap my name around. And that is this sort of legacy that I'm leaving here. And that is just me doing what I love and not letting anybody tell me that I can't do it.